Have you ever felt so exhausted that your hands shook just opening a jar? Maybe you've stared at an empty bank account after working 80-hour weeks. Maybe you've cried in your car wondering if your dream was just a lie. That loop of effort, failure, and shame, it traps so many of us. But here's what you need to know. Sometimes the greatest treasures aren't found in the miles you dig, but in the inches you refuse to quit on. This is the story of a man who walked away from everything, then came back for just 4 more inches. It's not your fault. You're not lazy. You're not failing. That exhaustion, it's real, and you're not alone. Millions feel this crushing weight every single day. But what if I told you your breakthrough isn't about working harder, it's about digging smarter in the right spot? This is the story of Mark Rivera, a 28-year-old construction worker from Phoenix, Arizona. He'd maxed out 3 credit cards chasing a dream, finding gold in Alaska's frozen wilderness. Just like you, Mark believed success demanded endless grinding. He didn't know that his lowest point, quitting after 9 brutal weeks, was about to become his greatest teacher. Little did Mark know, everything was about to change with 4 simple inches. Mark's reality was brutal. He rented a leaky cabin near Fairbanks with no running water. His savings? Gone. $47,000 vanished into second-hand mining gear, permits, and freeze-dried meals he'd forced down between shifts. Every morning at 4 a.m., he'd chip ice off his boots, his fingers numb and bleeding through torn gloves. The Arctic wind howled like a living thing, stealing his breath. His journal entries read like desperate prayers. Day 31, found 3 flecks. Is this a sign or a joke? Day 45, truck broke down, walked 12 miles in minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Why am I doing this? He tried everything, studying geology maps until his eyes burned, joining online mining forums where veterans mocked his questions, even sleeping in his rusted pickup truck to save cabin rent. Nothing worked. Doubt became his shadow. "You're a fool," he'd whisper to the cracked mirror in his cabin. "You'll die broke and forgotten before Christmas." Rock bottom hit on a Tuesday. A blizzard buried his excavator under 6 feet of snow. As he shoveled with raw, blistered hands, tears froze on his cheeks. He called his older sister, Rosa, in Phoenix, voice cracking. "I'm done. Send a bus ticket. I have $38 left." The Greyhound ride south felt like a funeral procession. He left his favorite pickaxe jammed upright in the frozen earth, a surrender flag. Just like you when you almost deleted your startup pitch, Mark thought his story was over. The bus stopped at a roadside diner in Tok, Alaska, population 1,258. Exhausted, Mark ordered black coffee that tasted like burnt tires. That's when he saw the old miner, Joe, at the counter. Joe's face was a roadmap of wrinkles, his hands gnarled like tree roots. He noticed Mark's worn mining gloves and asked about his claim. When Mark admitted quitting after 9 weeks, Joe didn't judge. He just pushed a plate of blueberry pancakes toward him. "Eat. Starving minds make bad decisions." Over syrup-stained napkins, Joe explained his grandfather's rule. When the mountain tests you, dig 4 more inches. It wasn't magic, it was science. Gold veins often run just below where discouraged miners stop. Your body quits at 90% effort, but gold? It hides at 94%. I've seen men walk away from fortunes because they stopped at 3 feet. Mark scoffed, stirring cold coffee. "I've got $38. No gear, no hope, just debt." But Joe slid a worn, coffee-stained map across the Formica counter. "This spot? Porcupine Creek. I've watched 3 guys quit at exactly 3 feet deep. The payoff starts at 3 feet and 4 inches. That night, in a $15 motel room that smelled of mildew, Mark stared at water stains on the ceiling. His shame warred with a tiny spark. What if 4 inches is all it takes? At dawn, he sold his return bus ticket for $22. He borrowed Joe's spare pickaxe and a dented thermos of coffee, and he hitchhiked back north, not for riches, for closure, for those 4 inches. Day 1 back, Mark's muscles screamed like torn cables. The blistered hands he thought had healed split open again. He dug exactly where he'd quit, at 3 feet, deeper. 3 feet and 1 inch, nothing but wet shale. 3 feet and 2 inches, just muddy rocks. Stupid, he muttered, spitting red dust. I'm wasting my last dollars on hope. Day 3, a grizzly bear raided his food stash at 2 a.m. Mark huddled in his tent, shivering, replaying Rosa's worried voice. You sound thinner, mijo. Come home. He packed his bag at sunrise, but as he lifted it, he saw Joe's map pinned to the cabin wall. 4 inches. He stayed. Day 7, rain turned his pit into a swamp. His boots sunk knee-deep in freezing mud. He found one tiny gold speck the size of a grain of sand. Hope flared, then died when his water pump seized up. Why bother? He yelled at the gray sky, hurling his wrench. But he remembered Joe's words over pancakes. Small wins build big courage. He fixed the pump with duct tape and spare parts Joe had tucked in the pickaxe handle. Day 14, 3 feet and 3 inches. Still nothing. His $38 dwindled to $12. A park ranger knocked on his cabin door. Blizzard warning, leave before winter locks you in. Mark almost listened. That night, by kerosene lamp, he wrote in his journal, if I quit now, I'll wonder what if in every birthday cake, every Christmas morning, forever. The wind screamed against the walls. He wrapped his hands in rags, kissed his mother's rosary beads, and whispered, just 4 inches, Dios. Give me 4 inches. At dawn on day 15, he swung his pickaxe one more time. 3 feet and 4 inches. Clang! The pick hit something hard, not rock, metal. Mark dropped to his knees, fingers clawing through mud and ice. There it was, a thick, glowing vein snaking through the earth like liquid sunlight. He chipped a piece off. It weighed heavy in his palm. Pure. 2 weeks later, a mining assayer in Fairbanks called. Mark's hands shook as he listened on a payphone outside the post office. Son, that sample, conservatively, $2 million. Could be more if the vein holds. But the real treasure wasn't the number. It was the phone call to Rosa. Her scream echoed down the line. Dios mío, you did it! Mark stood on his claim, snow dusting his shoulders like powdered sugar. The same mountain that broke him now held him. He whispered to the wind, it was never about the gold. It was about the inches I refused to leave behind. Today, Mark still mines, but differently. He employs 6 locals from Fairbanks, paying them $35 an hour plus health care. His cabin has solar panels and a wood stove that glows like amber at night. His journal, full of gratitude lists. October 12th, Maria's son started college, paid his tuition. November 3rd, repaired community well. But when asked about the $2 million, he smiles over coffee in his warm kitchen. I measure wealth in mornings I wake up believing. His greatest pride isn't the gold bars in his safe deposit box. It's the text he got last month from a 19-year-old named Lena who'd almost quit nursing school. I dug 4 more inches today, passed my final exam. Thank you. Mark's story isn't magic. It's proof that your lowest quit point is often one decision away from your highest breakthrough. That $2 million wasn't found in the ground. It was buried in his willingness to dig 4 inches deeper when every bone said stop. Your 4 inches aren't in a frozen Alaskan creek. They're in the job application you haven't sent after 3 rejections, the apology you haven't made to mend a relationship, the extra rep when your muscles burn. Starting tomorrow, when exhaustion whispers quit, ask, what if my gold is just 4 inches deeper? Choose one tiny action, one email, one push-up, one honest conversation. Your past failures aren't your end. They're the soil where resilience grows. Every hour you delay is a minute lost, but right now, you can reclaim it. Your story isn't over. This is just the beginning. Stay with us. Your next breakthrough might start with a story like this one. It starts with 4 inches. Always.